An old map shows a vanished land between Madagascar and India. It began in a lab, not a legend, yet became a sacred continent. Something real was lost, but not where you think. Why? Picture the Indian Ocean on a chalkboard in gaslit London. The year is the second half of the 1800s. New ideas are shaking the ground, yet the ground seems fixed. A British zoologist studies Madagascar. He opens jars, pins labels, and draws lines on maps. He sees lemurs on the island, and far away in Asia. But across mainland Africa, he notes a blank. No lemurs. No tracks. No easy path to cross. The pattern looks wrong, like a bridge cut in mid-span. At the time, continents are thought to stay put. Naturalists explain odd patterns with vanished lands. They imagine land bridges now drowned by deep seas. Out at sea, steamships cut new routes. In salons, Darwin's ideas spread heat and doubt. And in journals, bold guesses travel faster than proof. On such a stage, a single name is coined. It carries the weight of an absence and a need. It will drift far beyond the lab that birthed it. This is the life of that name. We will track it from a zoologist's desk to occult halls. We will see how a fix for a map problem becomes a myth of origin. You will meet a champion of evolution who moved the line. You will hear an esoteric voice who turned maps into scripture. You will watch modern geology test the seafloor itself. Along the way, a small shard under Mauritius will appear. Some say it proves the lost land rose again. It does not. But it tells us something sharper. By the end, the old map will clear. Not by finding a sunken continent. By learning how ideas migrate, survive, and change shape. The name is Lemuria. Its author is Philip Lutley Sclater, a British zoologist. The year is 1864, and the puzzle is simple to state. Madagascar teems with lemurs. So do parts of India and Malaya, yet continental Africa shows an empty page. Sclater sketches a bold line to link the dots. He posits a drowned land between island and Asia, a bridge for animals before the water rose. He writes in the Quarterly Journal of Science, the paper is the mammals of Madagascar. He offers Lemuria as a useful key, not a sacred truth. Even the word carries a hint of ghosts. Sclater had named the lemurs in 1860 after Roman lemures, night spirits for night primates. A shadow in a name. He is not alone in that mode of thought. Naturalists of the age like bridges and lost lands. They do not have plate tectonics to guide their hands. The idea spreads through maps and hulls. It seems to solve a stubborn gap with one clean stroke. It charms because it fits the lines you can see. Then the frame shifts, and the stakes rise. Enter Ernst Haeckel, a famed German naturalist, a fierce ally of Darwin, yet bold in his own leaps. In 1868 and again in 1870 he writes of origins. He accepts Lemuria as more than an animal bridge. He draws it as a cradle in the story of man. He speaks of early human forms in that drowned land. No fossils prove it, but the claim grips minds. A bridge for lemurs becomes a birthbed for us. This is the first migration of the idea, from beasts to people. From root to root. It is still cast as science, but the ground shifts. But the story does not end there. A new current rises in the fan d'air. It is not a lab current. It is an occult one. It brings candles, masters, and secret books. Helena Blavatsky steps into the circle in 1888. Her book bears a grand title, The Secret Doctrine. Within it, Lemuria breaks free of maps. She speaks of root races and cosmic cycles. She places Lemuria as the third race cradle. She says they were giants, and they were androgynous. They do not just walk. They wield psychic force. They hatch from eggs, then change across vast ages. This is not Sclater's bridge. It is a world soul. She cites ancient stanzas and hidden masters. She ties cataclysm to moral and cosmic arcs. She even points to Easter Island as a sign. These pages do something powerful. They give a flat name a beating mythic heart. They invite devotion, not debate. The map grows skin, law, and fate. Lemuria shifts from geology to cosmogony. Its truth moves from rocks to revelation. And followers add detail with zeal. William Scott Elliott writes of Atlantis and Lemuria in 1904. He gives scenes, tech, and lives to that lost land. His Lemurians harness cosmic energies. They build, they fall, they leave traces on us. He is not bound by drill cores or fossil beds. These texts travel. They shape occult groups and New Age dreams. They leak into fiction, comics, and screens. A single fix for a lemma becomes a living legend. Science set the spark. Myth built the fire. The glow spreads far beyond the first room. Here lies a crucial turn. Once an idea gains a mythic body, it resists death, facts blunted, but the form holds. The migration is now complete. Lemuria is a place of souls, not soils, and yet the ocean still waits with its own proof. What comes next is even more surprising. Geology starts to move under its own weight. In 1912, Alfred Wegener proposes a vast drift. He writes of a supercontinent that broke apart. At first, he is doubted. Then he is heard. By the 1960s, plate tectonics takes command. New data from seafloors redraw Earth's story. Sonic pings map deep basins and ridges. Cores rise from the deep-sea drilling project. The ocean drilling program refines the tale. They find that ocean crust is young and dense. Continents ride lighter, thicker plates. Basins do not hide whole missing continents. Mid-ocean ridges spread new crust like seams. Subduction eats plates at arcs and trenches. The pattern fits without secret bridges. In this frame, lemur lines make sense again. Madagascar split from Africa long before lemurs. Later, animals rafted the channel on mats and logs. Island chains act as stepping stones for life. Current and chance carry seed and beast. Time and tide do the rest in quiet work. By now, the scientific Lemuria is obsolete. Its role as a bridge is no longer needed. The seafloor a cleaner, tested tale. Yet the myth of Lemuria does not sink. It finds new harbors in New Age shores. It blends with Atlantis in pop myth soup. Dive videos show blocks at Yonaguni. Angles look too clean for some eyes. Geologists see natural steps and breaks. Claims surge, fade, then surge again. A headline names a microcontinent near Mauritius. The word Lemuria appears beside Mauritia. And this is where everything changes. The Indian Ocean holds small shards of old crust. They're not lost empires, they're chips of plates. One shard gains a name: Mauritia. Work led by Louis D. Ashwal brings it to light. Papers in 2013 and 2017 date zircons in Mauritius. They're far older than the island's lavas. The zircons clock between 61 and 83 million years. They point to a sunken microplate between India and Madagascar. It broke as Gondwana ripped and drifted apart. This is a real discovery, and it is stunning. But it is not Sclater's grand land bridge. It is not Blavatsky's psychic heartland. It is a small continental fragment, now hidden by seafloor. It shows how complex the breakup really was. It does not bear temples or lost cities. The distinction matters. A shard is not a continent. A fact is not a myth. Yet the two keep touching in headlines and hopes. Now the hook can close. An idea began as a fix for lemur lines. It became a mythic origin through human need. Modern geology retired the bridge with hard data. Microcontinents clarified, not confirmed. The lost land, what remained was the story, still alive and glowing. This tale reveals a pattern in how we think. Call it the bridge impulse. When we see a gap, we build. We build with what we have: data, maps, and need. When data is thin, need grows thick. The bridge may then shift from stone to story. To keep science sound, we can name the frames: fact, hypothesis, and myth each serve a role. Confusion rises when frames swap without notice. We can love myths and guard methods at once. We can ask for cores and dates when claims surge. We can enjoy legends as legends, not as labs. This is not a war on wonder. It is a way to honor both wonder and truth. Let ideas travel, but mark their passports. Stand on a black beach in Madagascar at dusk. A lemur watches the horizon as trade winds rise. The sea breathes, ancient and exact. In your hands, layer 2 maps. One is Sclater's with a bridge across the deep. The other shows ridges, faults, and micro shards. Waves erase the line you drew chalk. Basalt stays, zircons endure, and stories drift. The continent is gone, the myth still walks. Welcome to Mysteria Mundi,